I just want to take a minute to talk about faith. I grew up in church, learning about Jesus, the Bible, all of these things, and all the scriptures, and I still had a major misconception. I believed if I follow the Ten Commandments, if I follow the teachings of Christ and I do the good things and I don't harm people and I do good things, reasonable, logical things, God's gonna bless me. Faith is not that. Faith is the evidence of things unseen. I like to say not yet seen, because faith is supposed to be contradictory to the cause and effect, the science and the math that we have learned to this point. Jesus has fishermen as his disciples. On two different occasions, he has them fill their net with fish. So, at one point, Peter kind of needs some money for a temple tax. Jesus doesn't tell him, hey, go do what you do, like you know how to do it. I'll provide the fish. I'll fill your nets. And then you take them to the market and make the money to pay for the temple tax. Jesus says, go catch one fish. And in its mouth will be a drachma. It'll cover you and me. That doesn't make sense. There are so many occurrences in the story of Jesus. Even when he tests Philip, he's like, hey, Philip, these people are hungry. We should feed them. How can we do that? Philip's like, even if we all worked for a year, it wouldn't be enough even for everybody to have a bite. And I said, but Jesus already knew what he was going to do, because he understood the one that had made all of the things that we need. Everything was created by his word. He didn't see limitations. Faith is the expectation of some pretty crazy things. And so whatever is going on in your life right now, I hope that you can look ahead and say, I know that this will end well, because I believe that this is the path that God has me on. Now, Daniel didn't jump into a lion's den. He was thrown. The Apostle Paul didn't stone himself or intentionally get bitten by a poisonous snake. But in those bad events, they knew that God had it and that it was going to go well. And here's the kicker. I know a lot of people that argue, debate prosperity gospel. Okay, here's the good facts. God always wanted to bless and prosper, to exalt his people. The problem was that every time he did, they got distracted. So here's the good news. As a child of God, God wants to bless and prosper you. The bad news is a lot of people that are talking about prosperity, they're like, man, think of what I could do if I had the resources. Well, hey, I know a guy that made all the resources. So why don't we start living like that? And then maybe God will start providing the resources. Start living out your faith today in ways that are supposed to feel uncomfortable as you relearn to be a child again. Because everything that we have learned up to this point hits faith and now goes in the opposite direction. Because you can know all the scriptures, you can know and really trying to grasp like a good father. He is there for me. He's my protector, provider. I can know all of these things. But until I have some experience, that knowledge doesn't do anything. But the knowledge and the experience are like the sprint before the long jump. Because when you can take what you've experienced and what you know, and then look ahead to say, God's got me there, that's going to carry you through the next gap of your life. Bless you. Have some faith today.